You're listening to WTTU 88.5 FM, The Nest, Cookeville's only alternative station run by students for students. There are two ways you can check out the action, either here on the airwaves of 88.5, or you can stream us live at www.tntech.edu/WTTU. You're listening to Radio Roulette. I'm your host, Briley Barnett, and today is a very special episode as I am joined with one of my favorite bands, Sure, if you guys want to say hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Thanks for having us.
Oh, so anytime, truly anytime. If you guys want to go ahead and say, your name and maybe your band title or like what you do for Sure in particular.
I'm Kevin. I'm Chief Executive Officer here at Sure.
Perfect.
Also, I play drums.
Good.
I'm Chris. I sing and I play keys, and I apologize if there's a little bit of a lag. I'm in Italy right now, which is kind of random, but having fun here as well.
Good.
So, but I'm the resident Italian in Sure.
Perfect. Every band has to have one.
Yeah.
And I'm Charlie, and I play guitar and bass and sing. And I'm not a CEO or an Italian, so
maybe one day.
One day.
Beautiful.
Charlie's our summer intern for the last seven years.
Perfect. Well, they would have just listened to the song 1, 2, 3. So do you want to talk about anything in particular pertaining to that song itself? Either inspiration behind it or maybe its place on Spirit Mission, everything.
Well, you probably just heard the pretty ridiculous intro to that song, and that's from this BBC documentary on what a Neanderthal's voice might have sounded like. And that thing was just, that clip was, we loved it. And it was really funny to us. And one day we were all living together and Charlie and I were home. And it started as a joke that we were like, what, it would be funny to start a song with that. Because they keep saying 1, 2, 3 as the thing, to demonstrate the voice. So we used that to sort of start the song, and then we were just having fun. I think that put us in a very playful state, very like childlike state. And then we just tracked like a lot of the song that day with that in mind.
Yeah, we recorded the song pretty fast and sat on it for a long time.
And then sat on it for like 3.5 years.
Yeah,
wow.
Because we recorded it. And it came from almost this joke, which is often where the best songs come from. So they're just jokes in the beginning. But and then we played it on tour. And it was like this huge hit on tour because we just introduced it and kind of explained the Neanderthal voice theory, which is actually, if you want to watch the video, just search BBC Neanderthal voice theory.
Highly recommend it.
It's so good. It's like 2.5 minutes, and you're gonna love it. And yeah, we would introduce the song and explain like the Neanderthal thing, and I don't know, it was just super fun to play live. And in the meantime, we had finished the recording before we even went on tour.
Yeah,
and it's just taken a long time to come around. We thought about not releasing it because we weren't sure if it was finished.
Yeah,
and then more recently we've just screw it.
Some songs are just, you don't know if they're going to be born and exist. They can be stubborn like that.
Yeah, that song, inside the band, we were wondering, like, is this good or not? Sometimes we don't know, but everyone was telling us it was good. And everyone loved it when we played it live, and it is good. So I'll go on the record and say it is good now.
Yeah.
I agree.
And a fun fact is we actually re-recorded the interview, or sorry, the not the interview. I just woke up from a nap. Okay, we re-recorded the sample of the Neanderthal, and it's mostly Kevin and our friend Maya saying just saying the parts of what the people say in the actual YouTube interview, and then I do the shriek at the end, which I'm very proud of.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Well, wonderful. That is so cool. I think it's interesting you say you've sat on this song for so long, because I got to see you guys live with Half Alive when they played Nashville in 2019.
Yeah.
So I can't
Did we
recall if
play
you
it?
played this.
Okay.
I don't remember. It's been so long. But I am
I think
curious.
we did.
You might have.
Yeah.
I
That was the tour we played it on, I think.
Yeah.
So I potentially have heard it, and it's been 3 years and just
Yeah.
left my brain. But that is so cool to me, because I was gonna make sure I mentioned that, like, I found out about you guys via that tour and have followed you ever since. So this has been really
I
cool.
mean, perfect shout out Half Alive, perfect example of like we wouldn't have ever gotten to know each other if it weren't for them, and so it means so much for bands, smaller bands when they're trying to grow, to be taken on tour by larger father figure bands like Half Alive.
Yeah. Well, awesome. I was gonna ask a little bit. I know you talked about your process for 1-2-3 in particular, but is there a writing process that you guys feel you sort of fall into when it comes to most of your music, or does it change per song, per album, per day?
It's pretty fluid. I think with 1-2-3, it was kind of a hybrid effort. Like we all really pitched in, and we repurposed some bits from other ideas and other songs that we had cooking, and just kind of mushed them together. Like I remember there was for the chorus, I had these chords. The chords were happening at a pretty fast rate, and I had like a different melody and different lyrics. But then we futzed around with it. Futzed. That's a word,
Yes.
right? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of futzing in the songwriting process.
Futzing. Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah,
It really is
futzing
just
process.
I feel like you have a thing that works, and then you switch it up, you commit to a different style, and whatever puts you in like a fun place where you can turn off the critical part of your brain for a second to get something out, that's usually effective.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
I think that's awesome. Do you want to talk about Spirit Mission as an album and maybe the like sort of ideas behind it? I know it's coming out on the 30th, or
Yeah.
This is your time to shine. So whatever you'd like to say about it.
I mean,
Yeah.
this album is just like, we've been, how we were saying like 1-2-3 was from 2019, and we just sat on it for a while. There's a similar story in a lot of these songs. A lot of them are from this older generation of sure music, and then at the same time there's all of this new stuff that we made in the last, I think, year, and it took a lot of effort. I don't think anyone, like, listening, when you listen to this, that's not going to be like palpable, or but for us, I think it's very special because just the amount of effort to finish this project and like put these songs together has been it's been a lot of work, and it's really satisfying to see it finally realized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like this album is all the songs are just kind of like snapshots of our lives and how we're feeling, and just captures a lot of nice moments that I like to revisit when I listen to the songs. And it's very it's like very personal, and I really like the album. I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good, like, I mean, I guess we've released a handful of songs that are on it, mostly the upbeat stuff, and there's still more upbeat stuff, but but there's also a lot of really great, like slower and more emotional and super personal songs that I think I think those are probably some of our favorite songs, and really excited to finally get those out. And yeah, I'm a big fan of Spirit Mission, the song, and yeah, I'm just really excited to see how it all does. And I think a lot of the songs started, we all were going through breakups at the same time, like in 2018 or 2019, and so there's definitely a through line of that. And then there's newer stuff too that is grapples more with like current quandaries of existence, like how does anything mean anything anymore, and what is the world coming to? And yeah, it's like searching for like freedom and kind of meaning in the world now. Yeah. So
light topics.
Super excited. yeah, light topics. And then there's also 1, 2, 3. So it's a good balance. Yeah.
So funny. It's so funny.
Oh man, I'm very excited, and even more so now to know that it's going to potentially give me a little bit of existential crisis. I think that's healthy. So I cannot wait for the whole album.
I don't know if it's intentional or not, or if it's just sort of like us when we play our instruments and we're kind of having fun. But when I listen to the album now, it's this mix of like, I feel nostalgic, obviously, because I think of where we were at in our lives when we made it. And there are these questions of like, the weight of existence, the world as it is now. But then when I listen, there's like a hopeful tinge. And I do think that's partially just like what happens when us three sit at our instruments, But so I think, I don't know. There's something nice about that. It's the heavy stuff, but there's it's fun musically.
Yeah, that makes me think a lot of another song that I will be playing on the show, which is "Peaceful in My Mind" from you guys, because it's very much the like, you know what, it's raining fire outside, but I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay in here for now. So that's super fun.
It's just this is fining through life.
Yes. This is fining.
This is fining.
Got it. And then I was also going to ask each of you individually about maybe some of your personal influences musically, or maybe who just you're listening to right now, who's really playing a big part in your music scene.
Chris, don't steal mine. Don't steal that handsome Brazilian man who I'm going to mention.
You should go first then.
I forgot his name though, so you should go first while I remember it. Hold on, let me get my phone.
Well, I was gonna say just on the for "Peaceful in My Mind," that song was inspired by this Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young song "Helplessly Hoping." With the it's got these like layered vocal harmonies the whole way through, and you can't even really tell what the main melody is half the time, and the whole song is like that. And so I kind of borrowed that idea for the chorus with the layered harmonies, and it just has a similar vibe to that one, I would say.
Very cool.
Yeah, but other than that, I think we all love Tame Impala. They're very, very sick. You can kind of hear that in Lonely One, which is coming out soon. Sounds pretty psychedelic.
That one's got the more psychedelic drum thing going on. That'll be a fun thing to share.
Yeah, it's a cool song.
Cool.
Yeah.
There's a older Brazilian artist. I don't know if he's still, making music, but his name is Gilberto Gil. And I don't know if it's Gilberto. I think it's a hard G though. But it's fire. Like you go and it's like from so long ago, and it feels so fresh. The recordings sound great. It's very inspiring.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I've been I recently was turned on to Dora Jar.
Oh
I've really been enjoying Dora Jar.
Cool.
Charlie got me on that. That's been cool.
Yeah, she's pretty.
Dora, the name, and then Jar, although it sounds like Dora Jar. but
Oh
continue.
yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, she's super sick and rock and roll, and
Cool.
yeah, really recommend Door Jar. And what else have I been? Oh, also, past couple years, really have appreciated this band Flight. Actually, both of these artists my girlfriend introduced me to. Flight, they're like this band out of the UK, and their songsmithing is they're really good songwriters, and yeah, highly recommend Flight. Oh man, really good stuff. And then Guns N' Roses, big Guns N' Roses, AC/DC fans.
Charlie just likes big hats, so
Hey,
that's
for
that one. Yeah.
That's
I mean, I like Steve Lacy's new stuff. Like I'm like just like happy to see Steve Lacy being so widely appreciated.
Absolutely.
Feels very homegrown and idiosyncratic, and not like a manufactured artist or anything.
That's super fun. I agree with that entirely. Yeah. So I guess I haven't really explained it to you, but my radio show, what I do is I go through the physical archives of WTTU and I pull random selected albums, vinyls, cassettes, because most of our DJs currently, they will DJ from their phone, because as long as you've purchased the music, you can play it. But I like to pick random. That's why it's called Radio Roulette. I am selecting things. Sometimes they're genuinely so bad, but sometimes they're really fun.
That's hilarious.
So it's a good mix of, like, we're an alt rock station, but we get CDs from all over the country, and we've been around for 50 years now, so we have CDs from forever ago, and finding gems amongst them is really fun. And accidentally putting a funk song that's 11 minutes long with no words on air once was also really fun, but mostly for me and probably not as much for listeners. But yeah, so I always like to ask about influences and what you're listening to right now. Beautiful. I meant to ask this a little earlier, is there a lyric or a particular song that you personally, and each of you can answer this individually, are just like exceedingly proud of, or that you really love, or that you really love to play? Like, is there a particular, I know we kind of talked about how much you liked to play 1, 2, 3 and from through the years of tour, but is there even, like, I like to ask people about a lyric that they're like, that's the one I like the most?
Yeah, I'm really, I love the last song on the album. It's not, I mean, I do love the lyrics, but what I remember about it's called Nobody But You, and my favorite part about it is this old Italian synth that we had, Chris. It's called a Gen.
Italian connection.
Yeah, and like I was trying to come up with the synth part for like the instrumental part of the song in between the verses, and then I had Chris come in. I was recording it in my room, and then Chris came into my room, and I was like, "Hey, can you like play on this track, this like weird old synth?" And I was like sitting in my chair, and Chris was at the Gen, and I was kind of like, the song isn't recorded to a click, so the tempo kind of fluctuates a lot. So I was kind of like conducting Chris with like the tempo of the song, and he ended up playing this, like, it reminds me of like a ballet, the way he played the Gen. It reminds me of like the Nutcracker almost. Oh. And it's just this crazy vibe on the song that I was just never expecting. And yeah, I'm a big fan of that song because of the Gen synth and what Chris did on it.
Very cool.
Yeah, that song was inspired a little bit by Chet Baker. Yeah.
I was listening to a lot of Chet Baker at the time. Lyrically, it was inspired by oh God, I wish I could remember the name of the song. I've listened to it so many times. I'll come back to you on that.
Always
somebody
you,
else
right?
Can go.
Is it Always You?
Yeah, is it Always You? Chet Baker.
Let me just log on. The song you were inspired by had a U in the title as well.
Oh yeah, It's Always You.
It's Always You.
Yes. So Nobody But You, yeah, that lyric came directly from Chet Baker. I basically
Shout out, Chet.
stole it, but
Perfect.
yeah.
I really like the lyric in there's a song, the first track on the album called Another Bad Dream. Now that we're lost, we're free, which is super cool.
Yeah, that has a nice optimistic tinge. Sanguine. Sanguine, a word I've been saying for the last 24 hours.
Oh, man. What does that mean? Like,
it means optimistic, but in an especially difficult circumstance.
Ooh, wow.
Ah.
That's good.
Well, I'll talk to you guys later.
Dude, you got to drop more word bombs on us.
Yeah. What a good way to end the interview. Yeah, you Segwin, bye.
Penguin, SAT word. Anyway, I was gonna mention too, but I just really like that song in general for so many reasons. But that was a real like came together fairly fast.
Another Bad Dream.
Yeah, Another Bad Dream. I don't know. I like every lyric in that song. Go listen to that song. But you know what the hardest lyric is, if we're just being honest? It's oh wait, now I gotta just make sure I get it exactly right.
Which
Oh yeah,
song?
hardest lyric is they all say, quote, "Funky Galileo got that fever." Just to balance like sanguine emotional lyrics with they all say.
Yeah. I love that. I think that is so fun. Lastly, I was gonna just ask if you guys have any advice that you would like to share to other people who are maybe starting to make music or get into the music scene, and any words of encouragement and or warning for them.
Well, we hear TikTok is all the rage. We haven't really cracked that egg quite yet, but I don't want to give advice that we don't know how to follow yet. So.
Gotcha.
I think it's finding your people. It could be like a little niche group of like, it could be one other person, it could be a few other people, but working with other people is really nice and fun and lets you be surprised, it's not just maybe someone else will surprise you. And also then you have like someone you trust who you're working with. That's a hard thing to find, but feels, that can be really worth it. And then also, I guess this is more like practical, but we've all like taken a lot of pride and like steps in just we record everything ourselves, so that frees you up in a lot of ways. And I think I have a hunch just everyone is doing that now, but not to say don't go into a studio to work with like great producers and engineers, but again, just being the frugal band we are, you just record everything at home yourself, and you learn that skill, and it can pay off.
Yeah, totally. Doing it ourselves has been very rewarding for us, and I think we learned a lot by doing it ourselves, and because we were where the buck stops, yeah, it's another weird expression, but where the buck stops, like we're
doing an experiment
for everything. If it wasn't good, it was our fault, kind of. Or if it was good, it really took credit, or we could be like,
no one else to blame.
Yeah. we had to learn a lot just to make good songs in the beginning. So yeah.
I would add keep finding inspiration like outside of music too, and live life outside of music, whatever that means to you, and because that just helps. I feel like that always helped us like kind of have sort of fresh. Like it helps come to songwriting fresh like that.
Yeah,
don't
you're
know.
gonna have something to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Go
One
in the
time,
woods.
one time in college, I tried to write a song about writing a song, and it was like really complicated.
Oh, yeah. That's really fun.
Yeah, I remember doing that.
Mhm.
Didn't we do that a few times in college?
The classic, like meta song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that's really fun. Well, wonderful. I will say, I wanted to say this way earlier and I forgot. One of my favorite things about your band is the name of it. Because anytime somebody goes, sure, I go, good band. And then I just, like, no one knows what I'm talking about half of the time. But when they do, it's really fun.
Yeah.
Where did the inspiration for that name, if there is any, come from?
We don't have a good answer for this.
Perfect.
We were called Junior, and we painstakingly tried to come up with a different name for reasons that I won't bore you with, but we had to change our name.
Okay.
And really, like, Sure was the only one you could get us all to agree on. There was something about it where everyone was cool with it. And sometimes that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I think we grew to love it late. Like, I love it now. I also think it's a great band name, but at the time it was just, we're like, we got to pick something. Oh, shoot. Sorry. That's gonna make me sound so much cooler anyway if I get like a little bleep.
Good.
Anyway, Briley, I have to go in a couple minutes, but I don't want to. If you have another couple questions that you wanted to ask us, please go ahead.
No, I was gonna just say if you wanted to tell everybody where to find you, either on Instagram or music-wise or whatever you'd like to plug. Here is your space to do it.
Yeah, just type the word Sure twice on any app on your phone, and you will find us.
Perfect.
Yeah. Full album comes out September 30th, right? Right, boys?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
September 30th. Another single called Lonely One, September 23rd. Really exciting. Yeah, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, and a fourth one that I can't think of.
Sure.
Deezer?
A fifth one? Can you think of a fifth one?
Pandora? No, not
No.
Pandora. Although it might be on there. I don't know how that works.
Amazon Music.
Yes, Amazon.
There
Music.
you go.
I see.
There we go.
Good old Bezos.
Gotta shout that one out, you know.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for talking to me. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Everybody look out for Spirit Mission coming out on the 30th of this month.
Thanks, Briley.
Yeah, you're welcome.